Here's the thing that nobody tells new creators about YouTube success, and it might completely change how you think about growing your channel. While everyone's obsessing over the perfect setup, expensive equipment, and viral video formulas, the real secret to breakthrough success comes down to something much simpler yet much harder to execute. Every single day, thousands of aspiring YouTubers quit their channels. Not because they lack talent or creativity, but because they never understood what I call the invisible growth phase. This is the period where your channel feels completely dead, your videos get barely any views, and you start questioning whether you're cut out for this platform at all. But here's what blew my mind when I discovered this. Even Mr. Beast, now the biggest creator on the planet, took over 2 years and uploaded more than 300 videos before hitting his first 1,000 subscribers. Think about that for a second. The most successful YouTuber in history was grinding in complete obscurity for years, posting video after video to what felt like an empty room. Most creators would have thrown in the towel after 6 months of silence. But he kept going, and that persistence through the invisible growth phase is exactly what separated him from the millions of channels that never make it past their first year. Today, I'm going to break down why the 100 video rule might be the most important piece of advice any new creator can follow, and how understanding the YouTube algorithm's learning process can completely transform your approach to content creation. First, let's destroy the biggest myth that's probably holding you back right now. The algorithm doesn't hate you. It's not conspiring against your success, and it's definitely not playing favorites with bigger channels. The truth is much simpler and actually more encouraging than you might think. YouTube's algorithm operates like a massive matchmaking system. When you upload a video, the platform quietly pushes it to a small test audience. Some of these viewers might scroll right past your content without a second glance. Others might click, watch for a few seconds, or even stick around for the entire video. A few might even subscribe to your channel. Based on how that initial test group responds, YouTube decides whether your video deserves a second chance with a slightly larger audience. If that bigger group also responds well, the algorithm expands the reach even further. This process continues as long as your content maintains strong engagement metrics. The key insight here is that YouTube isn't judging the quality of your content in some subjective way. It's purely responding to viewer behavior data, click-through rates, watch time, engagement levels, subscriber conversion rates. These metrics tell the algorithm everything it needs to know about whether your content resonates with audiences. But here's where most new creators get frustrated and give up. During those early uploads, the algorithm has almost no data about your channel or your ideal audience. It's essentially throwing darts at a board, hoping to find viewers who might be interested in your content. Sometimes it gets lucky and finds the right people. More often, especially in the beginning, it doesn't. This is why your channel isn't actually small. It's underexposed. There's a massive difference between these two concepts, and understanding this distinction changes everything about how you approach content creation. The exposure problem has nothing to do with your editing skills, your camera quality, or your years of experience. Those elements matter eventually, but only after someone decides to click on your video. Right now, the real challenge is getting discovered in the first place. Discovery on YouTube comes down to 3 critical elements: your titles, your thumbnails, and your search optimization. These are your first impression, your digital handshake with potential viewers. Master these elements, and you'll start building the exposure your content deserves. This brings us to the 100 video rule, which might sound overwhelming but is actually grounded in solid data science. Every single video you upload feeds valuable information into YouTube's learning system. The platform begins to understand who watches your content, how long they stay engaged, what types of titles attract your ideal viewers, and which videos bring back returning subscribers. Think of each upload as a data point in an increasingly detailed profile of your channel. Early on, YouTube has just a few scattered pieces of information about your content and audience. But as you consistently upload, these data points begin forming patterns. The algorithm starts recognizing the characteristics of viewers who genuinely enjoy your content. After dozens of uploads, YouTube develops a much clearer picture of your ideal audience. It understands what time of day these viewers are most active, what other channels they watch, what topics they're interested in, and how they typically engage with content similar to yours. Most creators quit before this data accumulation process has enough time to work. They upload 20 or 30 videos, see minimal growth, and assume they're not cut out for YouTube success. But they're often just weeks or months away from the algorithm finally understanding their content well enough to recommend it effectively. The magic happens when you reach what I call the tipping point. This is the moment when your videos stop struggling for basic visibility and start getting recommended more aggressively. YouTube no longer treats your content as an unknown quantity. Instead, it confidently serves your videos to viewers who are genuinely interested in your niche. The tipping point isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's a subtle shift where your videos start receiving more consistent traffic. Your shorts finally break into the For You feed. Your longer videos begin appearing on home pages and in suggested video sidebars. Whether the change is explosive or gradual, you'll definitely feel the difference. But here's the critical part that separates successful creators from those who never break through. Consistency alone isn't enough. Uploading every week without learning or improving is just going through the motions. The only type of consistency that actually works is what I call evolving consistency. This means treating every video as an opportunity to improve by at least 1%. Maybe you focus on better pacing in your next upload. Perhaps you experiment with a different thumbnail style. Or you might work on your delivery and on-screen presence. These tiny improvements seem insignificant in isolation, but they compound dramatically over time. If you improve just 1% with each video over 100 uploads, you'll be twice as good as when you started. That level of improvement, combined with the algorithm's growing understanding of your content, creates unstoppable momentum toward your breakthrough moment. The timing of your tipping point varies dramatically between creators. Some channels explode after their 30th video. Others don't see significant growth until their 80th or even 100th upload. The specific timeline depends on your niche, your content quality, and how effectively you optimize for discoverability. What remains consistent is that creators who survive the invisible growth phase almost always reach this breakthrough moment. The ones who quit early never give the system enough time to work in their favor. So how do you actually implement this strategy starting today? Here's a practical 4-step plan you can begin executing immediately. Step 1 involves redefining what success means for your channel. Stop obsessing over daily view counts and subscriber numbers. These metrics don't reflect your true potential, especially during the early growth phase. Instead, focus on skill development and content improvement with each upload. Ask yourself what YouTube success actually looks like for your specific goals. Are you building toward financial freedom? Do you want to create a full-time content career? Maybe you're passionate about teaching or inspiring others in your field. Once you define success on your own terms, every video becomes a meaningful step toward that vision rather than just another attempt to chase vanity metrics. Step 2 focuses on building genuine connections with other creators in your space. Find and engage with channels that are slightly ahead of you in their growth journey. Comment thoughtfully on their videos, share what you're learning, ask questions, and offer support where you can. This networking approach serves multiple purposes beyond just being friendly. You'll discover collaboration opportunities that expose your content to new audiences. You'll build accountability partnerships that keep you consistent during difficult periods. Most importantly, you'll realize that you're not grinding alone in complete isolation. Step 3 requires identifying your unique angle in a crowded content landscape. With millions of channels competing for attention, you need a clear answer to this question. Why should someone watch your content instead of similar channels covering the same topics? Your edge might be your storytelling approach, your sense of humor, your professional background, your unique format, or simply your fresh perspective on familiar subjects. The goal isn't to be completely different from everyone else. It's to be authentically yourself while providing clear value that other creators can't replicate. Step 4 is where the real commitment begins. Challenge yourself to upload 100 videos within the next 12 months. That breaks down to roughly 2 videos per week, which is ambitious but absolutely achievable with proper planning and dedication. This timeline might seem aggressive, but it puts you miles ahead of creators who upload sporadically or quit after a few months of slow growth. By the end of those 12 months, you'll have dramatically improved your skills, built a substantial content library, and given the algorithm extensive data to work with in promoting your channel. The 100 video rule isn't just about quantity, though. Each upload should represent your best effort at that moment, with a conscious focus on incremental improvement. Study your analytics to understand which videos perform better than others. Pay attention to audience feedback and adjust your approach accordingly. Treat every piece of content as both a standalone video and a data point in your larger growth strategy. Remember that most creators never reach their tipping point not because they lack talent, but because they quit just before the algorithm figures them out. They don't trust the data building process enough to see it through to completion. They interpret low view counts as personal failure rather than understanding it as the natural learning phase that every successful channel experiences. Your breakthrough moment might come with video 37, video 89, or video 112. The exact timing varies for everyone, but the principles remain the same. Consistent uploads plus continuous improvement plus algorithmic learning equals inevitable growth for creators who refuse to quit. The compound effect of this approach becomes incredibly powerful once it kicks in. Your improved skills, growing content library, and the algorithm's enhanced understanding of your audience create momentum that feels almost magical after months of grinding in relative obscurity. This is when monetization becomes realistic, when brand partnerships become possible, and when you start building the engaged community you've been working toward. The invisible growth phase transforms into visible, sustainable success that rewards your persistence and strategic thinking. If you commit to this approach starting today, 12 months from now you won't recognize your own channel. The improvement in your content quality, the growth in your audience, and the confidence you'll have gained will feel like a complete transformation. But it all starts with understanding that the algorithm isn't your enemy. It's a learning system that needs time and data to become your most powerful ally in building the YouTube channel you've always envisioned.